Hi, welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. And today, sound like Nemo.
I know,
And
that's what I was
today,
just thinking. And today,
with our homeschool on the homestead,
Mhm.
we got another science project for you.
It's a pretty cool one.
We get to eat this one. Okay, so this week we are in our Anatomy and Physiology science book.
Yes.
Mwahaha.
Anatomy and Physiology. So this is the one that I was kind of scratching my head with when I saw it as a choice, because we've been using Apologia for a while, and so this was the most recent book before the new one that they just brought out. So they just did chemistry and physics or whatever it is, and the one before that was the newest one before that was this Anatomy and Physiology book. And I remember looking at it just like I am right now with the chemistry and physics book. I'm like, there's absolutely no way that an elementary school kid can understand the concept or retain any knowledge.
Faith. No, you don't even have enough faith for a mustard seed.
No.
Because any other child, maybe I could run that rabbit with you. But our kids have an awesome teacher.
Don't toot your own horn or anything. Toot toot.
Toot, toot, toot.
Well, it doesn't hurt that you have a really great curriculum to go by that helps you get hands-on with stuff and really solidify all of the information that they're learning. They're able to.
So, 3 seconds ago, you were kicking the curriculum, talking about I don't believe an elementary school kids. So I said, well, you know what? Maybe it's because they got a good teacher. And you're like, well, it doesn't hurt that you got a good curriculum to go off on.
What I said was I was skeptical when I saw the subject matter of the curriculum.
Backhanded comment.
But anyway, yes, dear, you are a fantastic teacher. So anyway, tell us, I am not repeating you on that one. Tell us a little bit. Jeez. We are not learning about gravity this week. Okay, so I promise it's just tea.
saying. Yeah, Long Island kind of tea.
Okay. So anyway, tell everybody about
Laid back.
Tell everybody about our project that we did this week.
Sipping on gin.
Okay, really.
Okay,
Focus.
so this
Great
project
child, teacher.
was about the cell.
Cell, like cell phone cell, like jail cell.
And you wonder why I make the drinking jokes. Just saying, Jose. Just saying.
So anyway, the cell.
The cell. And the really cool thing about this particular science project that we did this week was you get to eat it. I
Well,
mean,
of course, that would be great.
you would just be excited if you could drink it.
Just put a straw straight in. So anyway.
But this is cool. It gives them hands-on, and when you're using because it uses Jello and gelatin,
Mm-hmm.
which is supposed to be kind of like the slimy stuff of the cell.
Cytoplasm, is that right? I think.
Psychoplasm, something like that. Anyway, it's the cell snot.
The cell snot. That's a technical term.
Yeah. And then they use different candies to make the different parts of the cell.
Right.
Which we chose to do this one. Now, when we were in the book, we did the
Poster board.
the poster board one where we drew it all out. One, because we were like poor and couldn't afford the candy at that particular time.
We weren't just poor. We were like, Puh.
Yeah, we couldn't afford the other two O's and the R.
Mm-mm.
But we
Well, we still made it work, and that's what I like about the curriculum.
Well, we weren't really. They were still kind of young, and we were trying to stay as far away from anything sugary as possible.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say. Is we were more practical back then because we had to be extremely self-conscious with how much
We're
money.
not practical now.
No. We had to be even more so back then because we were.
we were so broke we couldn't pay attention.
No. But so basically what we did is we used the stuff that we had around the house, and that's what I really like about this curriculum is you don't have to if you can't, you don't have to go out and specially buy stuff. You can find stuff around the house to make this project work. And in some cases I might even argue that doing it that way might help the child understand the concept and shape of stuff even more so. And so anyway, with this cell project, we had to have yellow Jello, and we had to have gelatin, and you mix those two together. Now,
Yellow Jello for the fellow.
yes. So typically yellow Jello.
Yellow Jello. I like how it just.
I know it just rolls right off the tongue. Yellow Jello is typically lemon flavored, and while lemon is okay.
What you got against lemon?
I don't know, just lemon
What
flavor.
did lemon ever do to you? You put it in the tea.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd want to eat a blob of lemon Jello.
Oh, really?
Don't.
Really, Miss Lemon Shooter?
No, I don't. What? Bringing up old stuff. So anyway, and it's a lemon drop for the record.
Whatever. You were dropping them like it was hot. I'm gonna tell you that much right now.
It's like that was almost 20 years ago. Leave it be. So anyway, down boy. So anyway, what we did was they actually had pineapple flavor, and our kids are much more fond of pineapple flavor. And
yeah,
my
they
thing,
even put pineapple on their pizza.
my thing is that if I'm going to spend the money on stuff, I really want them to actually eat it, not just put it together.
Whoa! Back the whole kids eating the candy train up here for a minute.
What?
What do you mean them eating it?
Yeah. Well, I mean they.
Well, I gotta grade it.
Oh, so you gotta grade it on taste?
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, the different parts of the cell, they had to have chocolate M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, they'd have Nerds, Red Hots, Spice gumdrops, black chocolate sprinkles or sprinkles that you use for like cupcakes and stuff, and then also fruit roll-ups. And I think that was it. There might have been some other stuff, but what was really cool was all of these have different shapes. Now, if your child has particular allergies, there's always you can go around, and that's the thing with this project. They do give you a couple different options for each one of the shapes, so you can choose one or the other. Like one, they wanted Smarties, and we could not find the little Smartie tubes where we looked. Now, when I went back to Walmart last night, I did see them, but it was in a totally different section. But anyway, so there's different options to what you can, what things you can use.
And each candy is going to represent a different thing in the cell.
Part within the cell.
And the cool thing about how this book breaks down those different parts, like it said, I can never say the scientific names of these parts, but one was like the electric company. One was basically the nucleus was like the government. And
police.
The police.
One was the police.
One was the police department, and they all had, one was like the Wall of Jericho.
Yeah, they all have different jobs. And so that made it very easy for them to understand how this whole system works.
They made it, they broke the cell down almost like it was a community. And so there was the policeman, the government, the, butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
Kind of thing, right.
Kind of thing. And so then each one of these different candies represented
the different
things
within the cell. Very cool.
It was very cool. Now, another part that you could do with this, and I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but if you didn't want to do the candies, you could do
pastas.
The pastas with the drawing. You could, because, I mean, come on. Our parents, a lot of our school projects and stuff, we were gluing the different macaronis and stuff on things.
In our generation, that was like the tool for
That was
crafts.
like art.
Yeah, you used macaroni noodles for everything.
Everything. They were gluing it on plaques.
They're making necklaces out of it. It's everywhere. So anyway.
So I mean that's a thing that you can do. Also, you can draw the cell out and then use the macaronis, the pastas on that and glue it on there and do it while you're listening to disco. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
Right, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was pretty cool. They got to cut open the cell. Like they poured it into a glass bowl and let it form in the glass bowl. And then once it had set, and they recommend several hours overnight if possible. We did ours first thing in the morning, and then by late afternoon it was ready to start manipulating.
Now let's be specific. What they poured in the bowl was the gelatin.
And the gelatin mixture.
And that was supposed to represent squirrel.
I saw it too.
That's supposed to represent the cell snot, the cytoplasm stuff. And then you let that hard, and then the kids now you have to give them some type of supervision with this part because they do have to kind of slice and dice.
Right.
They got to cut slits in their new cell to be able to drop in the different candies, which represent the different pieces of a cell with their different jobs.
Which is really neat because when it's done, the Jell-O is kind of clear, translucent. So when you put all that stuff in there and then put it all together and they look at it, they could see all the pieces inside the Jell-O, which is really neat.
Yeah. And then we get to eat it.
Yep. You get to eat it.
Yeah.
That's not really my thing.
Yeah.
Now, the really cool part about this project is all of these different candies that you have to buy, you only need like 1 or 2 pieces of each one of them. So,
again,
depending on what...
you haven't been working with kids in so long. 1 or 2, please. 1 goes in there, 1 handful goes in the mouth.
Well, anyway. So what we did was we bought the single serve, like the M&Ms and all of those. We didn't buy like the big, huge bags. I'm the party pooper.
Yep.
But, so anyway, so this doesn't have to be a really expensive project.
No, it doesn't have to be an expensive project, and you don't want to give candies. You can substitute other things, too.
I was thinking about this. I was wondering if you could do blueberries and stuff
raspberries,
like that. I thought that would be
probably
pretty cool.
apple slices or chunks of apple, chunks of pineapple. You can come up with different things. I mean, this is just every one of these science projects, the stuff that we're sharing is just a basic idea. If you don't want your kids to have Smarties or Nerds or M&Ms or they got a peanut allergy or whatever, you can substitute it for different things.
Right.
It doesn't have to be
fruits,
veggies, fruit.
Yeah.
You can mix them both, Or you can just say, you know what, you're drawing it, kid. And
crack the whip.
And be done with it. Either way, the kids enjoyed the drawings when we glued the pasta noodles on there.
But they also really enjoyed
this.
Yeah.
And again, it depending on what age you're starting with,
right,
what you want to do.
Right.
Because if you just want to do basically a glaze over, you can when they're real preschool and little.
With just the pastas and stuff. Because that's good for like manipulatives, letting them use the dexterity of their fingers and stuff, manipulating all the pieces of macaroni and things like that. It's good for them.
And then when they get up 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, you can come back and revisit this project during the summertime and do the candies.
And this is good for a kinesthetic learner that learns by doing, moving around and getting actually hands-on. So this is definitely one of those projects that's good because most children are kinesthetic. So, that way they can kind of, the motion of doing everything kind of sends everything up to the brain and back and forth, and so you're making those connections and kind of, I always like to use the word solidifying. You're taking that information and putting it into that memory bank,
And this is also one of those projects that you can revisit during the summertime when you're off of school.
Right.
And do it again and use it as a treat.
But it be a refresher, right?
But it really being a refresher. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching our girls put together their edible cell.
I know they enjoyed doing it.
Yeah. And if you guys have any questions or comments,
Leave it down in the
leave
comment
it down
box.
below. We will leave a link to this particular book,
This curriculum book.
this curriculum book in the description below. And that's it for this week. Next week we're back in history, right? We're going back to history. Yeah.
Back to history.
We're going back to history. To history.
Really?
To history.
Really? I don't think
Going
so.
back to history. I don't think so. No, we're going back to history, and we're going to be out of the nomads. And are we in with the Egyptians, or are we just still hanging out around the Nile?
No, oh yeah.
I think we're hanging
We're
out
in
around.
it now.
That's right. Yeah. Next week's is going to be cool for a history project. Yeah, I'm not going to spill the beans. So don't forget, it's Monday. Don't forget your oils class tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And the oil is again?
Not gonna say. You gotta go over to Instagram or over to our Google Plus community. It's Every Day with Essential Oils. You can check out either one of those social medias. We'll be dropping clues all day long. And if you have a guess, you can submit it to our Big Bear Farms Oils at hotmail.com. And I think we're going to pick 2, maybe 3 winners for tonight.
Do I have to eat this one?
I don't think so. I don't think you get to eat this one.
Oh.
I'm not sure. Obviously, I need to do some more research.
So that's 8 p.m. Eastern time here on the Big Bear Homestead channel, live.
Live and in color. All right.
So we'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, for the Essential Oils class, the best Essential Oils class on
Ever.
YouTube. I'm just going to say it like that.
You're partial.
Oh, here we go again with, well, you're obligated to say that.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Anyway.
So we'll see you guys tonight. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead. And like always, have a nice day.